Seth Rollins just broke his silence after one of the most vicious attacks Raw has seen in recent memory, and what he's saying is changing everything about how we need to think about WrestleMania season. Gunther's assault wasn't just a random act of aggression. It was calculated, it was personal, and Seth Rollins' response proves that we're looking at a collision course that could define the entire direction of the grandest stage of them all. If you've been following the tension building between these two titans, you already know this is about to get absolutely explosive, so let's break down exactly what's happening, why it matters, and whether we're really heading toward a WrestleMania showdown that could steal the entire show. For months, Seth Rollins has been operating in that space where he's simultaneously relevant and searching for something. He's had matches, he's had programs, he's been on television, but there's been this underlying sense that the visionary hasn't quite found his moment yet. Gunther, on the other hand, has been on an absolute tear. The ring general has been this unstoppable force, cutting through competition, proving over and over again that he's one of the most dominant forces in the entire company. He carries himself with the kind of confidence that only comes from being legitimately difficult to beat. When Gunther steps into a ring or walks down a backstage corridor, people take notice. The attack itself was the kind of physical encounter that doesn't happen by accident. Gunther didn't stumble into Seth Rollins. He sought him out, and the ferocity of the assault told us everything we needed to know about what he was feeling in that moment. There was fury, there was intent, and there was absolutely a statement being made. But what makes this situation so intriguing is the context. Seth Rollins has always been the type of competitor who thrives when he's got something to prove. He's never been the guy to shy away from a challenge, and the visionary certainly isn't going to cower after getting attacked by Gunther. Seth's response when he finally spoke was measured, but it was also loaded with conviction. He didn't come out making excuses. He didn't talk about being blindsided or playing the victim. Instead, he acknowledged the physicality of what happened, and more importantly, he made it clear that he's not intimidated by Gunther or what the ring general represents. That's the kind of response that separates the main event talent from everyone else on the roster. When you get hit with a statement like Gunther's attack, you can either shrink or you can rise to meet the moment. Seth Rollins chose to rise. What's particularly interesting about this whole situation is the psychological warfare at play. Gunther is a submission specialist. He's known for being this grinding, methodical wrestler who breaks his opponents down and forces them to quit or pass out. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, is all about speed, agility, and striking. He's the kind of wrestler who can turn things around in an instant. If these two end up in an official match, it's a clash of styles that writes itself. Gunther wants to slow the pace and control the center of the ring. Seth wants to keep things high-flying, unpredictable, and frenetic. That's the foundation for a genuinely compelling contest. The WrestleMania angle that's being speculated about makes complete sense when you look at the bigger picture. We're in that part of the wrestling calendar where storylines are being built for the biggest show of the year. WrestleMania is always about marquee matchups, about creating moments that last forever, about putting on matches that define careers. A Seth Rollins vs. Gunther encounter at WrestleMania has all the hallmarks of something special. Both guys are in positions where a high-profile match on that stage could elevate their standing even further. What Seth said in his statement is also revealing about his mindset heading into this situation. He wasn't dismissive of Gunther. He wasn't talking trash in a way that diminishes the ring general's accomplishments. Instead, Seth was respectful but confident. He acknowledged that Gunther is one of the absolute best in this company, and at the same time, he made it clear that the visionary doesn't back down from anybody. That's the kind of respectful rivalry that wrestling fans absolutely love. It's not about two guys trying to get in clever insults. It's about two elite athletes recognizing each other's abilities and being willing to step into the ring to settle things. From Gunther's perspective, attacking Seth Rollins is interesting because the ring general doesn't usually operate that way. Gunther is methodical. He's controlled. He picks his moments carefully. For him to come out and just physically assault someone suggests that either Seth has been getting under his skin in ways we haven't fully understood, or there's something bigger brewing that we haven't quite seen play out on television yet. Either way, it raises the stakes significantly. The quality of competition we're going to see if this match happens at WrestleMania is going to be absolutely elite. Seth Rollins is one of the most consistent performers on the roster. Every time he steps between those ropes, he's bringing psychology, he's bringing creativity, and he's bringing a willingness to go above and beyond to entertain the audience. Gunther brings that same level of professionalism, but he brings it from a completely different angle. He's grounded, he's brutal, and he's relentless. The contrast between these two approaches would make for an incredible wrestling match. There's also the question of what happens in the build to WrestleMania if this match is indeed confirmed. Are we going to see more physical confrontations? Are we going to get promos where these two go back and forth about who deserves to be in the main event picture? Are we going to see other people get involved, potentially complicating the story? The way WWE books the build to WrestleMania is often just as important as the matches themselves. The anticipation, the storytelling, the way you bring fans along on that journey from now until WrestleMania determines how much people care about the actual match when it happens. Seth Rollins breaking his silence and refusing to back down is exactly the kind of response that keeps this story moving forward in an intriguing direction. He's not going to cower. He's not going to wait around hoping that Gunther forgets about him. The visionary is going to meet this challenge head-on, and that's the energy that this rivalry needs. Gunther made his statement with violence. Seth Rollins is making his statement with confidence and determination. Looking at the broader WrestleMania picture, this potential match would fit perfectly into what WWE is building toward. The show needs championship matches, sure, but it also needs encounters between elite workers that deliver from a pure wrestling perspective. Seth Rollins vs. Gunther at WrestleMania would absolutely deliver that. These are two performers who take pride in the quality of their work, who understand the magnitude of the stage they'd be on, and who would be motivated to steal the show. The wrestling world is waiting to see how this unfolds. Is this heading toward an official WrestleMania matchup, or is there going to be more twists and turns in this story? What happens next time these two are on the same show? Will there be another physical encounter, or will WWE keep them separated until the match itself? The anticipation is building, and Seth's response has confirmed that he's not going to let this slide without a proper response. This is the kind of unpredictable, compelling storytelling that makes WWE must-watch television. Two elite performers, a rivalry born from physical confrontation, and the possibility of a WrestleMania showdown that could be absolutely incredible. If you want complete analysis of every major storyline developing toward WrestleMania, if you want to understand the psychology behind every program and every potential match, then you need WWE Express in your life. We break down everything happening in the WWE universe with the kind of depth and passion that real fans deserve. Subscribe to WWE Express now, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and join us as we cover everything leading into the biggest show of the year.